All right, today we study Chapter 4, Section 2. In this section, we're going to learn how to draw and interpret scatter diagrams and how to distinguish between linear and nonlinear relations. And the last one, how to use graphic utility to find the line of best fit. So now let's look at the first one, draw and interpret scatter diagrams. So let's look at the example. In baseball, the on-base percentage for a team represents the percentage of time that the player safely reach base. The data given in Table 6, which is the next slides, represent the number of runs scored Y and the non-base percentage X for teams in the National League during the 2013 baseball season. And then we're going to do the following three. Okay, draw a scatter diagram of the data, treating on-base percent as the independent variable, which means that's the x-axis. Use a graphing utility to draw a scatter diagram. And then the last one, describe what happens to run scores as on-base percentage increase. All right, so let's look at the data first. Okay, so in this data, the first column represents the team name, and then the x-axis represents the on-base percentage, which is the x coordinates, okay, or x-axis. And then run scored, we use y to represent, that's the dependent variable, okay, which is the y coordinates. And then if we use rectangular coordinate system, that's the y-axis. All right, and then let's draw the scatter diagram. My hand graph will be, very inaccurate. So let's just look at the one, okay, the book does. So set of rectangular coordinate system, x-axis represent on-base percentage, and the y-axis represent the run score. And then every point, right, that's the order pair in the previous slides. Okay, so when x equals 32.3, right, first one 32.3. This is another, this one. This is the 29 point something, right? 29.3. That's a Miami score. And then the run is 513. Okay, so in the x-axis, find the x coordinates and then plot the corresponding y coordinates. And then that is one of the point. Okay, in our data table, that's represent the team Miami. All right, and the next one, when x equals 30, that's Chicago Cubs. Okay, when x equals 30, y equals 602, right here. And then the next slide, when x equals, looks like a 30.6, right? When x equals 30.6, and then y equals 619, that's for the New York Mets. And then there's another one, when x equals 30.8, right? And y equals 618. So these two are very, very similar. So 618, that's San Diego. 619, that's New York MT. So it just, each data. Okay, let's go back to the data. So each row we can write as an order pair, and then we plot as a point in a rectangular coordinate system. Okay, that's the graph we see on the left-hand side. Okay, this is a graph, the scattered diagram by hand. Okay, if I do hand graph, it won't be accurate. It's better you have a graphing sheet, and then you can graph those points precisely. Okay, so the better way is use the graphic calculator to do this graph. Okay, so now I'm gonna use graphic calculator to show you, okay, how to do this graph. All right, so this is a graphing utility, and in order to put the data into the calculator, we need to call the stat function, okay, and then use edit to enter the data. Okay, so the first option edit. Okay, that's where we need to go. So press enter, or you can press 1 to select option 1. And I already have some data in it, so I need to clear this data. So how to clear data in a graphic calculator? You just need to use the arrow key, move the cursor on the L1 or L2, the column name, okay, the top, and then press clear button, and then move the cursor down, and then all the data will be cleared. Okay, all right, so now this is the empty table we want to put the data in, okay? And then x-axis in our data table, which is on-base percentage, okay, we're gonna put in the column L1, and then the run scored, and we will need to enter it in the L2. L1, L2 represent the list, so there's 2 sets of data, okay, and then each set of data we use one of the lists to represent. All right, so now let's enter X, okay, Arizona first. That's 32.3, right? And then press enter. 32.3, and then the Y, corresponding Y will be 685. Okay, so that's the first row data. Or if you want to, you can put all the X first and then put all the Y's, at the same order. Okay, just make sure you double check, don't miss any data. Okay, in that way, you don't have to switch from L1, L2 all the time. Okay, so the rest I'm gonna enter all the X. Okay, 32.1. Press enter, and the next X Chicago Cup is a 30. And then 32.7, 32.3, 32.6, and then 29.3. The next one will be 31.1, 30.6, that's the next data. And then another 30.6, 31.3, 30.8, 32, oh, sorry, 32, 33.2, 31.3. So how many data total? You can look at the index here. The next one is index 16. So that means I already entered 15 data, okay, for the L1, which is X. Let's see how many team here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 15. Okay, on the PowerPoint slides, total 15. Okay, you can check. So I should get all the X correct. Okay, later I'm gonna double check. Okay, make sure the data enter is correct. And then the next one, I got 685 already. Next one, 688. The next one, 602. Next one, 698. 706. 649. 513. 640. 619. 610. You can enter data, as I do, okay? You can do on your own graphic calculator. 634, 618, 629, 783, 656, okay? So make sure the number of X, okay, data in the L1 and the number of data in L2 they're exactly the same. Okay, if you have more data on L1 or more data on L2, either way, the calculator will give you error message. Okay, so now I put all the data in the graphic calculator. The next one, okay, I want to displot the scatter diagram we call the static plot. So we have to make sure we turn the static plot on. Okay, so how to do that? Static plot is right here above y equals button, right? So I need to press second y equals in order to turn the static plot on. Right now it's off, right? Can you see right here? It says it's off. So I need to press enter to get into the plot one, and then the cursor flashing. Okay, right now it's on the off. I need to do the on. So put another enter, and then now the cursor is already highlighted on. That means it's already turned on. Okay, and then we can do the graph. So when I hit the graph button, it doesn't say anything, right? Because it's zoom, right? Because the window. So I can do the zoom and then choose option 9. Okay, zoom stats. And then we will see the scatter diagram. Okay, all right, we can check the PowerPoint. Is that the same thing? Let's compare, okay? Our graphic calculator and can't do this. Okay, can you compare? That's the same, right? So that's how to graphing, okay, the scattered plot or scatter diagram using graphic calculator. All right. So let's see what else. Show the scatter diagram. Okay, the last question is the scatter diagram show that as non-base percentage increase, the number of runs scored also increase, right? Yeah, we can see from the graph. Okay, as x moving from left hand side to right hand side. Okay, so you can see y coordinates also increase. Okay, so that's what this scattered data diagram show us. Okay, as x, which is the on-base percentage, okay, increase, and then the run scored also increase. So this kind of relation we call the positive correlation. Okay, later we're going to talk about it.